Greetings. This is a, I call it self-reflection reading or self-knowledge reading, but actually the question is always a very simple one. Where I am, or what's this? So kind of a diagnostic reading. And the cards, this is Lenormand, and this type of Lenormand, I really like it. Because of the pictures, and it was bigger, even bigger. It's actually quite big, so it's not really good for a grand tableau, but I actually cut these borders. There were some, I think, white borders, and I cut it smaller, so cut down these borders because I wanted it smaller, and I think it's much nicer with this green border. So some interesting cards, actually three so-called negative cards: the clouds, the snake, and the fox. But let's talk about the structure. So this is a ladder. Ladder is something I learned from Kathleen Matthews' Lenormand book. And this is especially good for the question, what is it? So what is inside me now? Something like that. And when we go down deeper and deeper. Sometimes I actually do not relate to these layers, but I just think about it as some pieces of a puzzle. And these two positions are actually part of the older card reading tradition. So from left to right we go, so it means that we go this direction. So this card that is actually stands in front of us in our on the street, on the road, on a way, it blocks us. This is something that does not help. It blocks us. And this kind of a card that pushes us into a direction we want to go. So this is what helps. So it's not what we should do, what we shouldn't do. It's rather what blocks and what helps in this situation. This is kind of a diagnostic column, and then the two, let's call it advice cards. So we have the clouds, the snake, and a woman. And since it is self-reflection, let's call it self-reflection reading, it's not a significator. I do traditional grand tableaus, and I hope I will be able to do it sometime in the nearest future. But since it's not a traditional Lenormand layout, and Lenormand wasn't used for self-development or reflection or knowledge, that's why for me it is feminine energy, or you can call it anima. It's not about a woman. So this is down, and in the Lenormand tradition, something is above a card. It can be positive or negative. There are two actually negative cards burdening on this feminine energy. And I wouldn't go into the topic of the snake as a positive symbol in a culture, especially connections to the female energy. I use it as a Lenormand card. And for me, these three cards tell the following. This feminine energy, I would call it intuition and trusting in our powers, is compromised, is confused. I would say I don't believe in myself. I am not self-confident as a woman. It's actually some kind of, actually it's a temporary thing. But right now it tells me that it is somehow confused and goes into a not so good direction. I would say it goes into a malevolent direction. If this energy can't function in a good way, it will function in a bad way. And that's why it actually goes into a non-productive, harming, lacking respect direction towards others and towards myself. What not to do. If I feel really confused and disempowered, let's call it like this, it's not good if I, how to say, act like a nice girl, being nice, paying attention to things I really don't want to right now. I am not open for these things. Still I act like, I always call it in Hungarian, in my native tongue, good girl. Don't be a nice girl, don't be a good girl. That's like recover from being a nice person. So if you are in this, then don't show something else, the opposite. And this is a survival mode. Fox is has big capabilities to survive, and right now it is something I would like to call hiding, incubation, not reaching out. It's time for healing. It's both cards tell me that don't show that you are happy, even if culture wants you to look happy and be happy. If you are not, if you don't feel you have the energy for a more outgoing mode, if you don't have it, then that's enough. You just try to survive. Otherwise, if you act like this malevolent, I wanted to avoid the word because I really like the word bitch in a positive way. But in a negative way, it's actually, yeah, that's bitch. In a negative way. Being unsatisfied with my life, I got very impatient with others, and somehow there is an intention to harm. Why should other people feel better if I am not? If I don't feel so good? Well, it's quite a hard reading, and there's a disclaimer I always say in Hungarian, in my Hungarian readings, and here I forgot, but maybe it's not too late. It's for those who feel this burden, these clouds. Something is not clear. I don't feel really good in my body. I don't really feel this feminine energy in myself. I am not self-confident as a woman. Then please just go into the woods a little bit, hide a little bit, survival mode. You don't have to be so nice, outgoing, social person right now, because then the snake, there is where the snake gets the poison from. I think it's clear, or maybe I think it's clear. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for commenting, liking, sharing, and maybe supporting me if you consider to do so. So, thank you very much. Bye.